That's perfection. It's not really, but that's.
Man, you just throw me off, boy. What I'm doing, man?
Starting the show next week.
Yeah. I was like, what am I doing here?
I really hope so.
The garage apartment, Jay-Z, anything. Oh, you can put the caption on there?
What's that?
Alright, here we go. We going
I
on.
don't know, I just got a message from you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
You can talk.
We're talking. Oh, bring it back. Yes, sir.
It's Sunday night, so you know what that means. And if you don't, you're ready to welcome to the Garage Apartment. Sports and entertainment. With your favorite partners. I am the Funky Militant, Adora Jones. And as always, I got the tribe with me.
Yeah.
So let them know who you are.
What's that going on next week?
D-Man, back better than ever.
Watch my preseason football.
And that is there.
You can't? I didn't get to do a mic check.
I wonder why that
Stay
was.
right there. You good? Stay right there.
Yeah. Some pop.
So far.
You popping, bro. Master
That was Boogie's ACL.
Hey, is that Doug
Yes, indeed. We're here each and every Sunday night from 6 to 7 Central Standard Time. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our website, thegarageapt.com. You can also hit us up live at 713-489-0688. And coming soon, you can carry us with you at all times.
How they gonna do that?
On the new 92 KELZ app.
You can do that now if you have an iPhone.
Right now it is currently on iPhone. So be sure to go to your
App Store.
Apple Store.
Your App Store.
Your Apple App Store.
Your App Store.
Your App Store.
App Store.
Coming soon to the Play
Type
Store.
in 92 KELZ and enjoy new music all the time. Of course, sports and entertainment with your favorite partners every Sunday night from 6 to 7. And much more. Android coming very, very soon.
Once again, go to your App Store, 92kels.com. Download it.
Just put in 92
92kels, yeah.
Or 92 Kels app.
Yes, so fellas, first off, how was y'all's week?
And then put your fingerprint imprint on it. You got it. Fingerprint.
Long.
What made your week long?
He went back to work for the first time.
Stop. Starting work all over again.
Who is the E-Stick? Who is E-Stick?
I don't know.
He just threw a pick six.
Well, we probably will never know.
E-Stick.
What you say? That was the last first and last time,
What's
huh?
his name? Ephraim Stick. E-Stick, man. He just threw it right
He
to him.
stuck it right in that man's stomach.
You think it's Ephraim?
Ephraim, yeah.
Edison.
Not
Ephraim
Eric?
would be the best name.
Anywho,
Anywho. Preseason football.
Well, my week was
It's horrid.
okay, you know.
Oh, we're talking about
I work year round, so I don't really have those ups and downs as of now. So it was just another week. Thank the Lord, made it through.
Yeah, it almost seems worth it to see y'all go back.
I don't wish that.
the ugliness in your
Like,
spirit.
I'd be mad. I'd be like, man. But like when my wife had to wake up and go to work,
The ugliness in your spirit,
oh
bro.
man, she woke up, she was all mad. I was like, yeah.
That's what you get.
Yeah, they didn't
It's
sleep
not
that morning. I
pathetic.
wake up. Since May.
What you got in your cup, bro?
Apple juice.
That's something.
That's what I really honestly thought that's what it was.
Yeah, they know.
What else would it be?
I mean,
Apple juice bubbles up like that?
yeah, it's
not
sparkling
bubble.
apple juice.
It's not
It's
sparkling.
sparkling cider.
That's
It's
It's
ice.
sparkling
all very
cider.
young. It's supposed to bubble.
It's ice.
It be like that sometimes.
It's
Oh,
sparkling
and then the
cider.
game is over.
Yeah.
Oh, preseason football is
We
the
don't
worst.
get that lucky.
My week was okay.
Okay, just okay.
I've been going to work and, coaching football.
You doing well for yourself, brother. Every week you hit us with a new ensemble.
Yeah,
So who is this we're rocking this week?
I have no idea. It might be, it can't be cross country, right? Because it says baseball. So it has to be
college.
Yeah, man. So we had a busy week.
Somewhere where there's a lot of trees.
I actually learned this morning, some information kind of shook me up. Cedric Benson has
Man, hold up, that's crazy.
Cedric Benson was killed in a motorcycle accident. Excuse me.
Is that what, a motorcycle? Okay,
A
that explains
motorcycle
a little more.
accident in Austin, Texas last night. That one hits me kind of hard because it's like, although I don't know this man personally, it kind of feels like,
Grew up with him.
yeah, we were in the same class, and
Yeah, it sucks.
if things had gone as planned, we would have played each other at some point in time.
And, he was a Packer at once, so.
Oh, really? That's your connection to him. He's a Packer.
It hurts, man.
How long was he a Packer?
A cup of tea, bro. A cup of tea.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
You don't remember being a Packer?
Man, it was good. And then
I'm out of brain being a Packer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to
he was
old
good.
Nebraska.
He was good. And then
I wouldn't go that
they weren't about to run the ball like that.
I ain't gonna go that far as to say he was good as a Packer.
He was.
His
I mean, he
best
had a
years-
solid day, man. He had a
His best
solid
years was in
NFL
Cincinnati.
career.
Yeah, his best
No,
years
I'm
was in
not saying he
Cincinnati.
was great,
But
but
he was in Chicago. Didn't he go to Chicago for a
Chicago,
little bit?
he was drafted by Chicago.
Yeah.
No, his Chicago
He
years
might be
were-
one of the
no.
best prep players.
His
ever.
Chicago years were not.
Period.
Got him
They were
enough.
not Cedric Benson-esque.
Got him enough to get him to Cincinnati or wherever he went.
Yes, and Cincinnati is where he went back to being Cedric Benson.
I mean, that's
They run the
that's
ball.
where they don't care what you do.
they run the ball.
Yeah,
that's,
they
where,
do.
that's where you
They
want
do.
to take it. Okay. I
They
was
say they don't care what you do, you can continue to live in
bro,
Cincinnati.
we don't mind
And
criminals
coach there for 11
in
seasons.
Cincinnati. No, I was thinking they just don't care what you do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember my
Oh,
freshman
you
year
show
in
up and
college,
play.
watching him on TV. I just caught in college. I used to go out and stuff, so it just popped up, and I was like, oh man, the state championship game. I woke up one Saturday morning, and it was Cedric Benson
Exactly.
against Eisenhower.
Yeah. He was doing his thing.
Oh, God.
He was doing his thing.
Yeah, he used to rush. He used to rush for like 300 yards a game.
Yeah, go
he
crazy.
was insane.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yep.
R.I.P.
So yeah, R.I.P. to Cedric Benson, man.
The
So
motorcycles, man.
Motorcycles. Man. Get the 3-wheelers, man. Let's make that popular. The 2-wheelers, that get.
Let's not make the motor-sized tricycles popular.
Hey, it's better than the motorcycle.
Get in the car.
Bicycle. Yeah, the car that hold.
I'm sorry, the young lady that was riding on the back with him died.
Oh
Also.
my God, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, she died also.
Oh yeah.
man.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So
2019, man, it's a cruel one.
every year seems like
Yeah, every year.
there's a bunch of people dying every year.
Yeah,
Every
man.
day, B.
And apparently, the older you get, the worse off it gets. People just start dying left and right.
Yeah. I mean, this was.
It just appears that way. Trust me, people
Yeah.
die left and
Yeah.
right. It's just keeping you to your left and to your right. That's how.
Guaranteed people dying, people being born.
Yes,
man.
indeed. Yes, indeed. That's probably the only two things in life I'm guaranteed. They say taxes,
Taxes.
but
Mary J gonna tell you it's taxes.
Wesley Snipes said no.
And well, guess what Wesley Snipes
Robert
ended up?
Isley said no
And
too.
guess what he ended up doing?
Gary Jones says no.
Well, we're just gonna leave that where it's at.
Who was that guy? I don't know. Who was that
Leave
young
that where it's
man?
at.
Oh, you were snitching.
So, Mary
Trust
J
me.
got a.
IRS knows they got a piece of paper from him and like.
No, they don't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nobody was thinking about that for years. It's an IRS agent who happened to just get that.
I knew it was someone we were missing. Oh my goodness. So, alright. Yes. One of the biggest stories that dominating the headlines this week.
Should be.
Jay-Z
Jigga.
has partnered with the NFL and has been named, what is it, liaison
Let me
to
read you this right here.
entertainment
Yeah, read
and social change.
The NFL and Jay-Z's entertainment and sports representation company are teaming up for events and social activism.
Right.
The league not only will use Jay-Z's Rock Nation to consult on its entertainment presentations, including the Super Bowl halftime, but will work with the rapper and the entrepreneur's company to strengthen community through music and the NFL's Inspire Change initiative.
That don't make no sense.
Which seems a little bit,
That's what
end
I'm
quote by the way, which seems a little bit detailed at that
does that
point.
mean?
None of it makes sense.
What does
So that
mean?
basically means,
No, what
I don't know what that
means?
means.
The only part that makes sense is yes, he will be head of the halftime show on the Super Bowl. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Well, as you know, there has
What
been-
is all
Oh, well, no, because
Okay,
Inspire
I-
Change
yeah.
Initiative
Yeah.
was created by the league after an agreement with the coalition of players who demonstrated during the national anthem. So the Inspire Change is the one that Eric Reed walked out on. That that other guy,
Right.
Dan Sharp,
What is that?
whoever it was, they said profited on it. But yeah, Eric Reed
Why I
walked
can't
off.
think of his name? The Philadelphia Eagle. What's his name?
Because he's the one
The one that reached out the box out there on the field.
Reed was upset with.
Harold Carlyle.
Malcolm Jenkins.
Malcolm Jenkins.
Malcolm Jenkins.
Jenkins.
So
Leroy.
So
David Leroy.
we gotta get us some love on our way out, baby.
Look it up.
So, needless to say, there has been some backlash. There are some folks
That's
who
really-
are upset with both Jay-Z and the NFL. Many celebrities, of course, Ed Reed and
Eric Reed.
Eric Reed.
What did Ed Reed say though?
Not a thing.
No.
Right now. Eric Reed has had a lot to say
Eric Reed ain't had nothing to say.
about the partnership. Fellas, what are y'all stances? How do y'all feel about it?
I just told you my stance.
What's your
All right.
Your stance is that simple? Is that simple?
That's
He said it was simple
So
too.
give it to me one more time, cause I might have missed
And it
it.
won't take long.
He is the head of intermission for the Super Bowl.
Bam!
But I mean,
So
I
you
don't know,
saying
there's a
he's-
lot of other stuff that was said in there. I just don't understand what it was.
So you're saying that's all he's going to actually impact? He's not going to have any impact or influence on anything else?
No.
No, but that's what he's there for. What does it say again?
No.
Influence.
I mean, well, others will probably say, well, what
What's he
about
supposed to do?
he'll probably in the entertainment, like the videos before Monday Night Football, before Thursday Night Football. All he is going to have his artist.
You think it's gonna be his artist or he's
They're
gonna
gonna be in
direct
there,
them?
you know what
Bring
I'm
back
saying?
Pick
Bleak.
who's there.
Bring back Bleak.
They're going to be in there.
Yeah,
So
right.
just remember,
That's
your
one thing they
Hank
said.
Williams, Hank Williams
Jack
Jr.
said that in the meeting. Don't do that.
Hank
Don't
Williams,
bring back Bleak.
Hank Williams Jr. is probably going to have a duet with somebody.
No, get rid of Hank Williams.
Probably Memphis Bleak.
Why?
Or Benny Siegel.
He's
Nah,
had
it
his
won't be
run.
Benny Siegel either.
The time for race.
They also mentioned him by name in the meeting.
So your stance is pretty much that no matter what they're saying, how everyone's trying to play it, you don't feel he will ultimately have any say in anything, let's just say community-based for lack of a better term. He will strictly have his influence shown on the music and the entertainment portion
Yeah.
that the league provides.
That's
I mean-
and I'm not really mad at it. Okay, whatever.
Oh, you can't be mad at that. Get your money.
Well, they reported
Get your money.
He's gonna get ownership in a team.
It was later reported that he is going a team that they have not yet.
They haven't
not-
named.
I
Yeah,
saw that
named.
on
So it's gotta be
TMZ
right.
But he is supposed to get majority
Majority ownership.
Majority
He's gonna buy a
ownership.
team.
in
With
the
who?
team.
That's what I'm saying. What team is about to give
And
up?
how long will this be before this is done?
What is the last franchise?
What is it?
Expansion.
What is it?
Expansion
It's not even an expansion franchise. Who wants to
No, I
sell?
just said when was the last one?
The Cincinnati Bengals?
What? No, I don't think. I don't know.
But how you gonna say what? Who?
You
Who
said
else
one was the
gonna-
last expansion.
No.
You said the Cincinnati.
Was that the answer to my question?
I don't know.
That's true.
I said the Carolina Panthers for you.
Oh, okay. See, that's why I said what? 'Cause I didn't
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
I
it was like-
No, the Panthers and the Jaguars.
And then
No, the Texans came after that.
Oh, they did. You're right.
Because the
You're right.
Jaguars went to the
2002,
Super Bowl.
the Texans.
okay, but anyway,
Were we the last one?
Yeah.
And then
They were the last
Then
ones.
Ahmad asked,
Ahmad, yeah.
Got the cup.
who's willing to sell? And I'm like,
The Carolina Panthers.
no.
Oh, the Cincinnati
The
Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals.
No, that's a family thing.
The Brown family is not selling
Brown
the
Jackson.
The Brown families with the Browns.
Jacksonville.
really not.
Who's that
No,
that's gonna be
they-
moving,
when
splitting
Paul
time,
Brown
playing
left the
some
Browns.
games?
Yeah, Paul Brown left the
There's
Browns.
some team
and
that's gonna be
went
playing
straight.
some games somewhere else.
With the Jaguars?
Is that the Jaguars playing?
They're
now?
playing all games in London.
In London?
Yeah, they're London's team.
He can't sell. He just bought it. So,
He
what my
wasn't
take on the
Jackson. He
issue?
can sell.
Absolutely.
Because Jacksonville's a horrible. Let me stop talking about Jacksonville.
Yeah,
So-
we love you, Jacksonville.
But it's not.
I appreciate the listeners.
Especially us Texans fans.
But they shouldn't have an NFL team. They can't beat out the Gators. Like,
Well, that's, yeah.
Gators are
Gators
way
got
more
a
popular
100-year
than
head start on us,
it
too.
doesn't matter.
We can't look. We can't beat nobody got a 100-year head start on us either.
Jacksonville was not bad. So if they didn't have the winner, then they don't stand.
D-Mac, give me your take, D-Mac.
Okay, so I don't see the big deal. Okay, like ultimately, from a business standpoint, there's no argument in the situation. You cannot be mad at anything he's doing from a business standpoint. So now we're going to take it to the let's just say social standpoint. So I don't see where the anthem would do nothing. No one would know. That means nothing. The only thing he can do is put money behind the situation and put his bully pulpit behind the situation.
Yeah, make social change.
That is
for
the
music.
only thing he can do.
That works.
And so that is basically what they're saying he has agreed to do, is to put his money into a situation and to put
Actually, it's not even
his
his
word
money.
into a situation.
It's Live Nation's money.
Well,
whatever
now you're
Live
getting into the weeds.
It sounds like they're gonna pay him to put on some shows, like
Uh-oh.
Jamal said.
I mean, that's to say, it is a little slippery.
He's a promoter.
Because basically, like you said,
He's got a
he get ready to
promotion
just go out here and entertain folks.
But you know, I mean, why you say that?
and push social justice through the entertainment. So
They will have
So that
to
means that the
ask
show is
that
gonna have
man
a
his
message.
opinion on the social issues. They don't have to take his opinion because they don't have to take
What's he
anyone's
gonna-
opinion.
What's he gonna do? Play?
But they have to ask him, and if
But
you
that's part
have,
of it.
if you
That's
have
what
someone in the room, that's better than not having someone in the
Oh,
room.
I had enough.
Well, see, no, because that's kind of
Yeah,
my
the
position
room
too.
would affect
But
you.
I'm gonna
It's
get into
Hurricane in the room that we're talking about either. I hope.
And then he's
You
gonna
know what I'm
play.
saying?
And then he's gonna play the story of OJ.
And you look like you have a lot of respect for
Enjoy.
Hurricane.
And then he's gonna play the story of
You
OJ.
look like that's your
Every
guy.
quarter.
And that's
But
cool.
the guy-
Clarence Thomas too,
That's
right?
No, I don't like
No,
Clarence
it's not.
Thomas.
You don't like Clarence Thomas?
That's just because of the whole Arabian thing.
Buffet pizza.
What?
I used to like Godfather back in the day. Godfather was cheap, man. It was like the first CC's. Herman Cain.
Exploitation at its finest.
I mean,
I like him for the pizza.
boy, that's my
Anyway.
he is a clown sometimes. Anyway, so
So what's your stance on the host?
no, I wanted him, Mr.
Oh, I don't know if
Who
we're
my
ready for
stance?
my stance.
I know that we're not ready for us. Come on.
Why would you say that?
Because I always know that it's going to so
Nah,
be
nah, nah.
aligned with the rest of us.
Nah, it's gonna be
Yeah, I mean,
intellectual.
what else can you say? It sounds like he's got a promotional, like he's got an exclusive promotional contract with the NFL, and then they agreed that the other owners wouldn't vote him out if he ever came up with enough money to buy a part of the team.
Which is also a
That's what I
very
think
good
would be
thing to
agreement.
do. I don't see how that would be negative in any shape, form, or
You
fashion.
know, because usually they would say, "Nah, man, we don't."
Yeah,
want
we
to."
know.
Like when they didn't, like when they wouldn't let when they blamed
Donald Trump.
Exactly.
And now look at
They
him.
said, okay, if you do get enough money to purchase the majority of a team, how much of the Nets did he own? Did they say?
A very small.
I mean, I understand they say he's a
part of the
billionaire.
percentage.
Speaking of the Nets, that dude Pokolov bought the Nets for less than $1 billion. The Nets are worth over $3 billion.
Yeah, exactly. The Russian guy.
The Russian
And
bought
now
them
the
for
Chinese
less
dudes.
than $1 billion. They are worth over 3 now.
Yeah.
And they won that nothing.
They're the same way with the Clippers. Same thing with the Clippers.
It's just where they are.
But he paid $2 for it. Ballmer paid $2, which is probably the same equivalent to less than $1 billion for Pokolov, but he paid $2 for it.
I do find Jay-Z to be a little hypocritical, though, as far as with the Travis Scott thing last year. I did not like that. I did not like that he invoked. Okay, so this man couldn't make just do his little thing because it was wrong then.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of hypocrisy in this too.
To me, it's okay. So see, I did see. I'm like, look, man, don't hit me with the social justice part. Like he's gonna do music and he's gonna push social. I don't even know what that means. But they're trying to hit you with that when actually it's just pure capitalism.
It's basically
It's
capitalism.
just a man
now has enough
Machiavelli
money
his way
to get in there.
to get there. He was Mr. Social Activist last year. But now he's an employee of the NFL.
And see,
soon to be member.
And see that's
And don't lie to me about it. Don't.
And see,
don't
that's
tell
the
me
issue
you're
I have with it.
social
Don't
activist.
lie
Just
to
be
me
a
about it.
businessman.
Don't lie to me about
Don't pull social activism to me, then have me. Hey, that's a business move, though.
Don't lie to me about it, because in all actuality, what you're doing is noble and in both impressive. But don't lie to me about it. It's complex too. And the reason I say it's complex, first of all, let me preface this by saying, because I have no problem saying it right here on air. I'm a separationist.
Oh God!
I truly believe
What?
separatist,
Okay.
separationist, it's all the same.
I don't even know.
People have. You see how your response was to people have negative.
Well, explain it then.
So I truly believe in separate and equal.
But we want everybody to listen together.
That's right. But I truly believe in separate and equal.
Blew right past
I think that integration was probably the worst thing that ever happened to the black community, in the sense that it turned the black community into lifelong consumers. It got them away from the proprietorship and recycling the dollar that they were forced to do, and that actually was going well for the black community, because even though they were separate, they had their own. But it was them wanting to be included, wanting to be a part of inclusion with what the others had, thinking that what they had was not good enough, that it made them lifelong consumers. As a result, they don't have the generational wealth needed to sustain, to be self-sufficient. We don't have the generational wealth needed to be self-sufficient, to regenerate the money, to keep money in our community.
Well, I don't know if we want to get into that. Are we trying to get into that?
What? Not really. I'm prefacing that by saying.
You done?
So saying that.
Go there.
So saying that, I'm saying that.
But I want to get back to.
But there is something to be said about, like you said, sitting at the table. Because if there's nobody there to represent, you gotta have at least one, because you can't have two without having one. And although there is a power in one, the most things aren't going to happen until you have numbers. But you gotta have somebody there. If there's nobody there to speak on your behalf at all, then of course,
whose behalf is he speaking on?
But see, that's what I'm
saying. How does that impact anyone? This dude making an entertainment business deal with the NFL,
because supposedly he is going to be there with the intentions of making social change.
What does that mean? He's not a social worker.
I don't know what
it's the
means,
NFL.
but that's supposed to be what his intentions are.
Yeah,
He's going to use his skills and what he does well, which is entertainment.
That don't work with me.
So
I'm with you 100%. I almost feel like,
so he's going to Congress?
He's finna go coon. That's what he's gonna do.
No, he's not going to go coon. I don't think he's going to go coon. He's going to go do business.
All I got to do is tell you.
Don't try to wrap that up in social activism.
But social activism could be just, and I'm not saying, I have no idea what that statement means either, but it could be simply saying, don't give to the Salvation Army and say that you're helping black people. Like, give it to a charity or a function that specifically goes
black people would be directly benefited if you give it to the Salvation Army.
Yes, and everybody would, but
this has nothing to do with black people.
There would also be black people that would benefit if you choose to send it through another one.
I was like, is he going to Congress to talk?
Right, it's not political either.
A
seat at that table means, it's important to have a seat at the
The hypocrisy was so high, because that's what I'm saying. He's all on songs. I told the NFL y'all don't need. I mean, I don't need you. Y'all need me, and I boycotted this, whatever the line.
They really could book the Rolling Stones every year.
And listen, whoop wop the wop.
Yeah, they could.
But then when watching,
Mick Jagger ain't gonna hold up.
It doesn't matter as long as he will. I'm just saying.
let the man finish. When watching the press conference, it was like, whoa, what you doing?
He did not speak.
Is he going to tell?
Because he basically buried Colin Kaepernick.
He didn't bury him, man.
Oh,
Is he going to tell? Is he going to tell the NFL to pay for
They kept asking.
reparation funds for Tamir Rice?
Who is?
That's what I'm saying. More than likely, not. No.
What do you mean?
And more than likely, his hands are going to be
The NFL
extremely
didn't do
tight.
that though.
His hands are, and that's why I say.
Well, that's why I said
social
activism, though.
And that's why I say too often black folks are used as figureheads to calm down the masses, and that's the slippery slope. But
They're like, hey,
there has to be some representation there. Like remember back, because this has been an issue we've
But
had.
Jermaine Dupri did it last year for last year's Super Bowl.
This is an issue we've had throughout generations.
Okay.
You know, with W.E.B. Du Bois, and Booker T. Washington, with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, with I can go back further than that, Paul Robeson and Jackie Robinson, with like they
What do you mean, the first to do this, the first
no,
to do that?
meaning putting a black face
to a cause
to calm down the uprising or the rage. Like, okay, let's put a black face that they worship, that they cherish. Someone who's saying something. Remember, I joked with you about it last week. Someone who's saying something friendly about us to make us put us in a better light, so that we can calm down the uprising, and then nothing actually happens. Because too often our people, they like the way things look like they're gonna change than actual change being done. As long as they look like they're gonna change, then we like, okay, we're accepting of that.
Because weren't they tripping on his wife when she did halftime and supposedly came in Black Panther?
Yeah, well, certain
The
people were.
NFL wasn't tripping.
Yeah,
The
the
NFL
NFL
was
was
tripping, but the
I mean,
NFL
certain white people were.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, I guess ultimately,
these same people ain't about to trip.
ultimately we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with this. But from what I'm hearing, I don't think any of us truly expect him to make a impactful.
He's not in a position to make anything.
And so, and my thing, if it's truly just an
He's the
entertainment
booker
thing,
for the.
then he's a booker for the halftime. He's a promotion. He's a promoter. He's a promoter of the halftime show.
That's what I said. He's in charge of information.
Yeah.
That's all he is.
And then every
And
show's got to have some.
People
kind of
start
message.
getting tripping. Like,
That's
oh,
what's gonna happen. That's where the social justice. Every show gonna have a theme and a message.
The press conference was
That's what it's
horrible.
gonna be.
The press conference was horrible
Press conference
because
wasn't-
I didn't watch.
he basically
the press conference.
nullified.
Press conference wasn't needed.
I guess it wasn't. You could have just put that a press release. You could have made a
You
press
could've tweeted
release
that.
and left right, and they left it at that. But see, that's what I'm saying. The
The
NFL.
billionaires press conference, bro.
The
I'm
billionaire-
reading the words the man is saying right now.
What do you say?
And it's a billionaire. I quote, I think we forget that Colin's whole thing was to bring attention to social injustice, correct?
Okay.
So in that case, this is a success. This is the next thing, because there's two parts of protesting. You go outside and you protest, not the billionaires part. And then the company and the individual say, I hear you.
Hey.
What do we do next?
Hey,
The billionaires part.
I can get you Rick Ross.
So for me,
Well, I mean, he's right in the sense that there must be action. Protesting is cool,
Hey.
but protesting don't get nothing done.
I can get you Rick Ross at halftime of the Super Bowl.
hey man,
And there was a quote that he said, often people don't get the picture till the weapon's drawn. Protesting is cool, but like Gregory Hines, what's my other boy? The author.
Baldwin.
Gregory.
Dick Gregory.
Dick Gregory.
Gregory.
Like Dick Gregory said,
Oh, it's
not
Gregory
Gregory Hines. Dick Gregory said, okay.
Like my boy Richard.
Because I was watching the
said.
interview he was doing. He was like, all right, what y'all gonna do?
Did you read that
It was
book?
like protesting. I have not read it.
You need to read that.
I really do plan on.
How you not?
I just started a new one yesterday called The Heritage.
Okay.
by Howard Bryant. But anyway, that's another. So anyway,
Sports now?
yes,
That's all right.
pretty good read. But anyway,
By Dennis Bryant?
I said Howard Bryant. Anyway,
Man, speaking of that, you gotta get the Josh Gordon too.
oh my
Hold
God,
on, finish your point.
because I'm so losing it.
Yeah, you lost it.
Rick Ross is
I
going
know.
to
So
perform.
Dick Gregory was like, all right, so now what you niggas gonna do now, right? Y'all gonna protest? We've been doing that since the 60s.
But the protest worked.
It's time for action now.
But see, my thing is,
Protest.
Jay-Z did it. A lot of people, because Colin Kaepernick really, he didn't sound to start a movement. He said, hey man, look, I'm kneeling because
So the bull
people get shot and certain people.
But he
get
actually, he
prosecuted.
put an action
He didn't
into
start
it,
a
though.
movement though.
He didn't start.
He didn't, and he didn't ask it. He didn't do a
Black
vote.
Lives Matter
He
had
didn't ask
actually
everybody to
go.
join him. He didn't
Yeah,
do
well,
all of that.
yeah,
He
yeah.
just did his own thing. So like,
And he put his money where
I
his
was
mouth
mad
is.
at Jay-Z last year when he was on that stuff about Travis Scott shouldn't perform. Then he gonna try to, like, back it up this year and say, well,
That's what I'm
he
saying.
just shouldn't have played second
That's
fiddle.
he's a hypocrite for that.
Because my thing is,
And
a lot
I
of
say
these
shame.
people, a lot of these people, they take Kaepernick's name in vain.
Yeah, they used
He didn't
that.
say, they're just using his name. Like, he hadn't said anything about you. Does he even know you?
But he did bury him in Central though.
Yeah, he
'Cause
did.
was
But why were you
he was
invoking
like,
his
you
name
know,
in
this
the
ain't
first
about
place?
him no
Because
more.
Charlemagne brought him up.
Which is right. It's not about him anymore. It was never about him for Jay-Z, which is why Jay-Z invoking his name last year at all was
It's
ridiculous.
not about it.
Yeah, because he was like, it ain't about him.
How you gonna be about
It's like-
somebody that
he's
ain't
like,
playing in
now
one
it's time
sport?
to save millions. So essentially, he's saying, yeah, we're gonna sacrifice Colin Kaepernick to save millions, which I understand that to an extent,
Because even Kaepernick.
because you don't lose millions for one.
Yeah.
Especially when you.
So is he going to tell the prisons to let go?
But
of
I'm
these
saying,
people?
you like me. It's like, so what are you really
But
going
what-
to do,
what are you
Jay-Z?
expecting?
No,
Why are
no.
your expectations for
Kaepernick
this
was-
man
yeah.
to
No, here we
literally
go.
be systematic racism?
Is he going
No,
to?
It's not gonna happen.
that's not the expectation.
Is he
Like I
going
said,
to make a video like Michael Jackson to show
heal the world?
They
Yeah,
don't
try-
really care about us.
Yeah,
That would be
the
amazing.
real one.
That would
Oh,
be amazing.
Yeah, if he does,
Don't know what
that'd
to do,
that'd
but
be
that
the
would
most
be
useless thing
amazing.
you can do.
No, I just
But
saying-
it would be hot
This-
fire.
Music don't unite the world. Stop saying this. Stop holding concerts for stuff, for AIDS. Okay, so you can say we raising money, but the music don't change the world. It doesn't. It's just
It
music.
reflects the world.
No, it doesn't. No.
Music
They
reflects
will
the
let you
world.
sing and then you gotta walk through the back
Okay,
door.
so what is our music reflecting now?
Oh, we don't want to
Don't get
that
look. Let's go back
Yeah.
there. Look, we'll have to make that another
Crazy
show,
view
sir.
that they're gonna change
What our
the
music
world.
is
We're
reflecting
have a
right now.
crossover show. We can have a
Absolutely,
crossover.
absolutely.
Wait, but is he going to make a Michael Jackson video?
No.
I'm like, well, that's pointless too.
That is so
No,
pointless.
I just say it,
Because what he's saying is, he's saying that it's time for action.
So
And
what-
so what we're all skeptical, from what I'm hearing, all four of us are skeptical about what action are you going to take?
It doesn't match up.
I wouldn't say skeptical.
Because it doesn't match
I'm
up.
not skeptical. I'm going to be
Take action
apathetic.
on what?
Apathetic,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
I'm realistic on
apathetic.
everything. That's part of the problem. It's
I might
just,
be just because
I'm
NFL is entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and that's all the thing.
So what do you-
That's all.
However, I mean, yes,
It's
on the
its own
surface,
business deal.
on the surface it is, but sports has always been white people's direct representation of black people. That is the only way that many black people have been accepted is through sports and entertainment. That was the biggest medium that blacks could use to be accepted by white people.
There is for me.
True.
Yeah,
So I mean, sports plays an important
That's
role.
exactly what we have with sports
Yes,
entertainment deal.
but
It's been done.
have you ever? Okay, so what's this guy's name? Have you ever watched the documentary of the Black Godfather?
No.
All right, so this dude brokered a deal for Hank Aaron
Okay.
with Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Like a lot of these, I really hate to say this.
Okay, well, don't say it.
All right.
Man, this girl.
A lot of these athletes, for real, okay, all bull put aside. No, a lot of these athletes, all these elite athletes, all these aren't educated.
Okay.
Ooh, that was a bit of a blanket statement. We gonna let you clean that up.
I'm not cleaning it. They're not
picture.
educated. They're not. They leave school early. They don't they barely go to class.
Even Jay-Z.
Well, let's say ill-prepared. We're not going to say not educated. Let's say ill-prepared.
But it's not about them either.
But no, but I'm just saying the way
Just
that
individual deals.
yes, I'm not saying that they can't be educated. I'm not saying it's just the way the process, the procedure of things. It's never put together because nobody's read how to do it. Even though there's not a clear set way to do it, nobody's even reading how to do it. They're just going on myths and legends.
I guarantee you Jay-Z's not educated enough to do it.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can't say they haven't. I can't say
that.
I can't.
Well, you sure didn't hesitate.
It flew right out of your
Because I'm
mouth.
sick of us
Yeah,
worshiping
Clarence
the
Avant.
entertainers and athletes.
Clarence
and
Avant.
stuff.
So
That's exactly what he's saying.
like, Clarence Avant brokered this deal for Coca-Cola, right?
Yeah.
For Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron didn't care at this point. He really didn't. He was just like, I'm about to break Babe Ruth's record.
Right.
People gonna look. And Claire's like, no, you need to be getting money for this. You need to be immortal for doing something that they A, don't want you to do,
Right.
and B, they can't fathom any of your type people to do.
Right.
So he brokered the deal, but Hank Aaron was even like, whatever.
Well, that's because you got it.
And a lot of these, I'm just saying, a lot of these athletes, when you ask them, they be on the same thing. I ain't really trying to step on
Well,
that
because at the same
toe.
time,
You can't have that. Not,
you're fighting against a big machine.
but your foresight, you're not looking at that. Like, your life is
I told
sports.
him they should be. They should be looking at that. They should have the foresight.
They should have the foresight. But the reason Clarence Avant had foresight is because his ass wasn't playing baseball for 35 years.
This is true.
Yeah, but you're at going to the table talking about you want to be the highest paid wide receiver.
Right.
And to do
Yeah, but you got somebody
calls.
said something. But you got somebody talking on your behalf. You're not going to the table. Unless you're Ed Reed and you played and you've had 4 contracts. You're not going to the table by yourself.
But that's what he's saying. Like they it's not even being considered when they start. And don't get me wrong, everybody has humble beginnings.
But
of course,
everybody
and nobody truly knows
you being
the
expert.
potential and to what extent they're going to reach, the heights they're going to reach throughout their career. But you should definitely have foresight or at least a plan or ambition to be the greatest, the best, and not just athlete.
But no, he had an ambition to
have
be the greatest. He didn't say, I'm just trying to go catch, I don't know, Roberto Clemente. He said, I'm trying to catch Babe Ruth. I'm trying to catch Robert Maris. I'm trying to beat the record, which has now lasted for
But
how long?
From what you know, the record that you getting ready to beat,
It
truly makes
could be
you
way
the
bigger
best
than what
hitter
you
of
think.
all time, and you need to be doing more than just being the best hitter of all time.
Yeah.
Especially playing in the South,
be
especially
the
playing in
best
the
hitter
right, playing
of
in the
all
South,
time.
playing in the South, and what later became the Black Mecca, home of Coca-Cola, coming from out of the Negro leagues. You were playing in a league when they weren't even allowing you
You're
over
right,
there.
and if I would have got to 640, 740, none of it would have mattered.
Okay. What?
If I would have broke the record,
No.
none of it would have mattered.
You know?
Boy, Hank Aaron, man. No, I'm talking about.
See what I mean? But like I said,
story about Hank.
ranging against, I mean, all the time, because when you're fighting against a machine so large, everybody knows that machine's instant reaction to when coming across anybody in rebellion,
You mean the NFL?
just no, I'm talking about
Any machine, okay.
any machine.
Right, okay.
Its
But you
immediate
can put the
response
NFL,
is to
it's the machine
suppress.
in this instance, right?
But yes.
Its immediate response is to suppress.
And the NFL
And so
is
these athletes
very-
these days, they don't want to endure that.
Plus, they have record because NFL is a very ruthless machine.
Has been.
Yeah, it's just,
They
Because-
took over Sundays.
Yeah.
Sundays used to be for church.
The USFL,
They used to be for church.
the USFL,
People don't go to church now to watch football.
the USFL got shut
They
down.
just become Catholic.
The USFL got shut down.
Yes. The
Why?
AAF, the AAF, and
No, I'm just saying
the
the US because they went to court about it.
Yeah.
They got shut down.
Donald Trump still.
They won. They won the suit actually, and guess how much they got paid? $1.
Exactly. This is Donald Trump's real issue with the NFL.
And then they
It
said,
ain't got nothing to do with the race relations. He
relations.
just wants the NFL to look bad because they did not allow him to become an owner in the NFL. A lot of people don't know that.
And then they killed him because he wasn't on in the watchman card.
It was
But I'm just saying. But I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Just
What
on
they say.
that practice,
That boy free
there's
agent.
still people. There are still these same lawyers.
Right, but
That
I'm
are
saying
still working
these
for-
athletes, they not built with that enough in them to do like none of these dudes want to be Kurt Flood. None of them.
But none of them have to be Kurt Flood, really.
That's why Kurt Flood was Kurt Flood.
Kurt Flood. You don't have to be Kurt Flood.
You only need one.
None of these dudes want to be Craig Hodges. None of these dudes want to be Mahmoud Abdul-Rahman. Exactly.
Well,
No, that's not
Kaepernick
gonna
did
be
it.
them. Kaepernick did it, and look what's happened to
Ed
Kaepernick.
Reed has done it. There have been people, but
Ed Reed came back, and that's why I'm
Ed
laughing at Ed Reed.
Reed came back.
Ed Reed, oh, not Ed Reed, I'm sorry. Eric Reed.
Yes, he came back. What's he supposed to do? Y'all gonna pay me?
But he got the
because I
nerve. He got the nerve. He talking all reckless about Jay-Z.
The whole point is that Kaepernick would have came back if they would have offered him a job. If you're telling me Kaepernick has no quarrels about coming back, doesn't even want to come back,
Yeah.
then he's not being blackballed.
Well, not that he doesn't want to come back.
I understand that
They
the
got
real
easy
100%. What I'm saying is,
I saw Garrett Gilbert playing yesterday.
I don't know if y'all heard.
Colin Kaepernick
Matter of
can't
fact,
get in the league.
let me-
Garrett Gilbert started
Nathan Peterson.
for the Cleveland Browns.
Let me
No,
play
Garrett
for you.
Gilbert started.
Let me play for you
That's
what
because
Eric
they
Reed
didn't
said
have
about
Jackson.
Jay-Z. Let me
Why
play
is
for you.
We started Joe Webb.
Eric
Texas
Reed.
started Joe Webb, and he
I
played
said
the whole
Eric
They
game.
said Eric that.
Yeah,
Let me play for you what Eric Reed said
I
about
want to hear what
Jay-Z.
Eric Wright said. Play it easy.
For one, when has Jay-Z ever taken the money to come out and tell us that we're past kneeling? Yes, he's done a lot of great work, a lot of great social justice work, but for you to get paid to go into an NFL press conference and say that we're past kneeling, again, asinine. Players Coalition 2.0, he got paid to take the bullets that he's taking now, because we're not having it.
So now,
My thing is,
We not
I mean,
having it.
that's a strong stance to have, and you still playing in the NFL.
But-
you came back to the same league
Yeah, but he's suing him.
that you claimed was blackballing you.
Yeah, but he got.
So if you can come back, but what I'm saying is, so if you can come back and get your check, why do you have an issue with Jay-Z?
No.
No, he has an issue as you're coming into my league, getting a check on my back. I started that
If
initiative.
that's the case, then I understand that.
I started that initiative.
And matter of fact, now that you have helped, yeah, I didn't see it from that perspective, but you're right, because he said
started
Players
that.
Coalition
I mean,
2.0, Players Coalition
But
2.0.
Eric
He had
did
an
the
issue.
lawsuit too, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was, and
Okay,
they settled.
so he got paid, right?
He did.
Okay, and see, this is the thing.
Got paid a
This was the
settlement
beauty of the whole
Don't know
thing.
what happened with
It
it.
just shows you how you can switch the story like
Just
that.
change the story,
Like
right?
starting from the first time he kneeled, right? And they were like, "Hey man," it was 2 games. They were like, "Hey man, we noticed you
You're
didn't
not
stand
standing for
up."
the national anthem, right?
And then he went off and he was like, "The people get shot," you know?
Yeah.
He did his beige rage. So-
Shout out.
Right, and that's all he said. He didn't say, "I'm starting a movement. Want everybody to send money here. Want everybody to do this and that." Right.
Right.
So then somehow they said, "Well, this guy's disrespecting the troops." How that happened, I have no idea.
Right.
That's what the
You
right
know how
did.
that happened.
So everybody
Everybody
said
did
he's disrespecting the troops. He's kneeling for the flag. He's not disrespecting the flag to me at all. It's a kneel. It's the
It
most
came from
benign
the
thing
Navy
you
SEAL.
can do.
I guess people don't know what this
Right.
is.
They shot the finger to the flag.
Anything that
Burn the flag.
is in a disagreement to them, they feel is
I
disrespectful.
took a Duke's
I don't understand how we got to the point. How we got to the point as a society
Right.
where people
Right.
can't just disagree and have
Yeah.
discourse and just disagree.
Then, and this is why people are mad now. Kaepernick only sued the NFL. He never did a Monique. Let's sue Netflix. He
And
never
he
said,
is not-
he never said let's boycott.
He's not
He sued
talking
his
about
employer
He's not
for
at the press
collusion.
conference.
For not allowing
And
them
then
to come back
somehow
and
when he
play.
got around the people, he never said boycott the NFL, and somehow people on his side somehow started boycotting the NFL.
You know,
When it was never a boycott the NFL
We know how
type of
that
thing in
happens
the
as
first
well.
place. Okay? He gets paid.
Well, that part kind of had to happen though.
the
Okay, I mean, whatever. That's fine. But this was an individual man suing his employer. Okay?
Did
That's
Jay-
what it was.
did Jay-
That wasn't part of the movement. I mean, I guess it was indirectly part of the movement. But that didn't have much to do with it. What he was supposed to start was just people starting their activism through
Did Jay-Z boycott Gucci?
recognition.
No, he did not.
He
And
didn't?
him and Dapper Dan is like homies.
But then they gave
And
Dapper.
Dapper Dan went and took a job.
Yeah, he took a job.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
Dapper Dan didn't make no change. Dapper Dan got a deal. It's the
Well,
same
Dapper Dan
thing.
was already. Dapper Dan was already suing Gucci anyway.
Well, no, Gucci was suing Dapper Dan back in the game.
But Dapper Dan was
making
also.
sweatsuits. It's like, we don't make sweatsuits.
But Dapper Dan was also. Once they
What
started
does Kwame
taking it
have on? We
slow.
don't make that.
Why is Miss Green and Tyson fighting in here?
But yeah, I mean, it's another way that they have found us to fight each other.
And that's what I'm saying. They have found a way to pin us against each other. Because now they have a face who is saying something friendly on their behalf.
But I'm just waiting for the halftime show.
Yeah, I
We
know.
might as well bring all the rock niggas, all the rock and
Bring
roll
back
back.
Bring back Bleach.
I'm really
Can't
young.
bring Bleach. Can't bring
Really
Bleach.
single.
No, we don't want nobody to shop. Can't bring Bleach.
Rihanna.
One for
Bring back Bleach.
Rihanna might be there, but he's not gonna bring back Bleach.
What was
Bring
that? What was
back
that
Bleach.
song?
They will not be doing
Tierra
that.
Maurice, she need the money.
Oh Lord, how long?
She need
Cup
the
of
money.
tea.
They won't be doing is that your
They
chick.
can do that. We are the champions.
Sauce Money.
Oh, that's so
He
great.
definitely.
Cameron.
Oh,
Dipset.
wow, we're just gonna call out the whole.
No.
M.O.P.
No, Jay-Z
We'll
gonna
bring
bring out.
MOP back.
It's just.
But if they start singing Eddie Up, there's gonna be a lot of people rock.
it won't be
Get
there.
that fool.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this: is it weird for me to feel kind of like Eric Reed is simply lashing out at anything that he's not involved in?
No.
That's not weird.
The man said
Well, that's
time
not
out.
happening.
No, the man did say some
Because I asked the
stuff.
question. The answer,
No.
don't know what that
The
is.
man said no. I know. What I'm saying is Jay-Z said something slick. In the first place.
Yes, he did. Talk about the past and
yeah, man, we're passing it.
Yeah.
You never had Derek. We're like, you ain't never
Never
knew.
passed it.
What you talking about?
That, and we
You
still,
never- what you
they're
talking
still
about?
getting shot and pulled over and.
It ain't
But
even
what
about that
Jay-Z
at this
means,
point.
and what I do understand him saying is, what he means is,
It was bad choice of
he's
words.
not saying
Who,
don't
Jay-Z?
kneel.
Jay-Z.
No, it was some disrespectful New York talk.
He's not saying don't. He's not saying don't
That's not
kneel.
what-
He's saying we're past kneeling,
Yes,
meaning
what it
as
It was arrogance.
those pointless demonstrations. Yeah, that's cool. But what we gonna do?
What is he gonna do?
Exactly. So that's what he's saying. He's going to do something.
This is what my question was before the show.
So he's saying, no,
If you can collect this check
Mhm.
from the 32 owners that are currently in the league right now, you should definitely be able to collect the check from Jay-Z. If the ultimate goal is him about to own this team, I don't see how that could be a bad thing in any shape, form, or fashion.
I agree.
I don't see how you, as a black player, or anybody else wouldn't be behind that, rooting for that, trying to make
I agree with
that.
that 100%. What we definitely don't want, if Jay-Z does become a majority owner, we don't want him to be Michael Jordan.
Who is he going
But
to
he-
own?
He won't have that.
He's not Michael Jordan.
won't
Who
have
is he
that
going
kind
to
of
own?
shit. Yeah, exactly.
And they said they would.
What's
They
the
have
cheapest
not
NFL
released
team?
what they have
New
not
Orleans.
released.
New Orleans.
You know what? I was thinking he might be. I was saying New Orleans or the
family
Carolina
team
Panthers.
too,
Those are two teams popped in my head for some reason.
What they said
Because I
is
know the Carolina Panthers owner. Remember, he was in some stuff.
the Raiders, for the Raiders have no cash.
The Raiders ain't going away.
This man could
Raiders
splash
going to
cash.
Vegas.
He's
I
gonna
mean,
move him.
I'm saying the Al Davis ain't giving that.
He's
team
got no money.
Yeah, Al Davis dead.
He's
Mark
got
Davis,
no
I'm saying,
money.
I'm almost certain Al Davis got something in his wheel where that team is not going
Jay-Z put together a
anywhere.
plan where that man did $2 billion for this team.
He just got one.
I didn't say Jay-Z paying $2 billion. We know that
I
ain't
said he just
I said he
got
put
one.
together a
If he's
plan.
worth $2 billion, he got to pay $1
If
billion.
they
and
put
one
together
cent.
a plan for him
To
to
be
put
majority owner.
in the $2 billion, why wouldn't he get off that team, bro?
I don't think Oakland.
I don't even, man. You know how much
He didn't move
money,
to Las Vegas to sell it.
how much money it costs, man.
Moved to Las Vegas because that was the next profitable thing. Because it wasn't profitable being the OA game.
Brooklyn's about to
Ain't
get
nothing
the job.
profitable in Oakland. Everybody is left over.
The Warriors left, and that's all they left.
No, bro. I've been watching the Astros series this weekend.
Yeah. Nobody's at
There's nobody.
Oh my God!
Nobody's at
and it's like 72 degrees. I'm like,
What's
it's
the
beautiful out there.
Nobody's at the.
I be seeing the weather is 75 and sunny. I'm like,
Nobody's at the.
Is it really? It's 925 here. It's
That double header?
Between San Diego and Oakland, I don't know what it is. Teams do not make it in those cities.
You know what it is?
Well, Oakland's about white flight.
This is money.
San Diego, I'm not sure, but white people are coming back to Oakland, so maybe it'll come back. But that's weak how they done moved them just to San Francisco.
San Francisco. That's
And
where
Oracle
money's
looks
at, bro.
relatively new. It looks pretty good.
All the money is in San Francisco.
But there's been like 15 people.
My question is, what team
Let's
is
go to
he
Oakland
on?
and go to Oakland. We can get some tickets.
Right
man.
behind us at home plate.
What team is
Ricky
he
Henderson
on?
Field. That stadium is huge.
That's a good question.
What's
What's
the
the
cheapest?
And that's.
Tampa Bay?
But no, what I
It's also a little too. It's too vague and too secretive too, because I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but you know, Charlamagne the God was coming out saying that his questions and comments were edited, and the NFL wouldn't allow wouldn't allow the journalists to have any video of the press conference. They can only have audio, so they were definitely trying to
You know what
control
they hired?
and spin
You know what
the
they
story.
You know who Shay hired?
The Grudge Park.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We get that.
Yeah, no.
We'll get that, and I dare you to take it from me. I'm telling you, I
announce it. However many times you want to announce it, man.
Matter of fact,
We hear you.
Matter of fact, we'll go live.
Hey,
Oh, we ain't supposed to go live? My bad.
they almost got put out of 3 tournaments already behind it.
My bad. Gotta bring the content to
They almost got put out of the press row at a boxing match.
Oh, y'all gotta do following?
They run the commercials for that next fight up. Really?
Hey.
Say 2 of those at work.
Yeah, it's gonna be on UFC Fight Pass.
Oh yeah.
The Cincinnati Bengals, 1.8 billion, are the cheapest.
That's the cheapest team.
Bam.
The Browns are not selling the Bengals.
Man,
man.
they all
The
dead.
Bengals, the Browns, the
Yeah,
Buccaneers,
they're
and the Titans.
I told you, look at
Man, you know how much money this is, man.
I can see
You got
Buccaneers.
$1 billion.
But no, they say that
He's a majority owner. He ain't
They're
sole owner.
So he's got to have $1 billion in one.
There
Okay, so maybe there's 5 owners.
there are several teams that don't make a profit.
So, wait, do you
No,
know
all of them make a profit.
Off of their football.
Yeah. They make a
Once they
profit
do
doing
the
it.
revenue
saying.
sharing
You
and
know,
the media
5 people-
contracts, then they get
you know, 5
off
people
of just
we know that-
operating budgets. They don't make profit.
You know 5 people he knows that got that money?
Oh, they're
We
gonna
know 5
choose.
people that Jay-Z knows he makes that money.
They're gonna choose with whom he owns the team. He's
Yeah,
not
he
gonna be
would
able
be
to
Puffy,
go get
Dre,
Puffy.
and that's
Puff,
3.
now Puff
Russell.
Puff made an announcement a couple years ago that he was interested in buying a team.
What team though?
I don't know.
What
What is the team?
No, but it's not even that.
That's the end of
It's
stuff.
not. I'm not even talking about money.
You know they're not gonna buy the Giants. They can't afford
That's
that.
what I'm saying. It's not even about money. Who's going to give up their
Yeah, who's
percentage?
selling?
Somebody say
Nobody is
Ooh.
sold. You would know by now.
No, not
Oh,
necessarily.
they're gonna make somebody
Why
come
won't
up
they
off their
just expand?
shares?
Why won't they add 2 more teams? Why is that hard to believe?
Adam,
They might
where?
go to 18 games.
Why would you
Where?
add 2 more?
Why can't they just add 2
Where?
more?
They haven't even been seeking out.
Whatever, they ain't got 2 games.
Because truth be told, if you add 2 more teams, you gotta really add 4 teams.
That's a 5-10 year process.
Yeah,
right?
you gotta add 5 teams.
And so you can
how
add
many
2.
more cities you gonna put them in?
Oh no, you
Because
can't. You
cities
gotta
like
add 2.
Nashville, Jacksonville,
Nashville already has a 10.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
these are cities who barely.
The Carolina Panthers are about to be off the market with David Tepper's purchase. So the Carolina Panthers about to
That's
be sold
Charlotte.
for
Look, they
Charlotte is there.
I mean,
San Diego lost a
The
team.
Buffalo,
Titans still
right?
have not
Yeah.
resolved any on their
St. Louis
ownership
lost 2
issue.
teams.
Yeah.
LA lost 2
Yeah,
teams
they're
and got
not-
them back.
Yeah, well,
Cleveland.
LA will always get it back.
Cleveland lost a team. No,
Cleveland lost a team and got it back.
Yeah, Oakland's not.
LA will not get a team back ever.
Like
Okay,
what other
LA
cities?
got a team.
What other cities?
And
you
LA
got?
got 2 teams.
Yeah.
LA's got 2 teams.
LA
San
did.
Antonio's still hungry, by the way. But anyway,
Okay, that's one city that could probably
I
get
San
it.
Antonio, Mike.
let me.
So
San
wait,
Antonio, Mike.
Where else, though?
wait, where would you see
Birmingham.
Jay-Z in San Antonio?
Hold on. The Titans still have not resolved their ownership issue after Bud Adams' death. The team,
So they'll go
they
to
say
San
the
Antonio?
family will never divest their ownership, but the wife, Susan Adams Smith, tried to sell 1/3 of the team last year. The Denver Broncos ownership faces uncertainty due to the
That's because he just died.
Pat Bowlen's
Yeah.
health. The
This
sale of the
guy knows
Broncos
that
would
too.
set the franchise valuation
combine it.
Depending on that, but they have such a big TV market, they say they're gonna.
You can't go expansion, man. There's no cities that can really handle this anymore.
Yeah, this is just the ones that are up
Des
for
Moines.
sale. That would be the most.
All the
likely
cities who can
considered.
sustain a NFL team have one.
Have one.
Des Moines?
I said Des Moines,
Like Boise.
What other city? What other city is there left?
Exactly. That's my point. What
The
other cities
Squad,
left?
Sacramento.
What other cities left?
I mean, now all you got is like the bum towns and all the states has got dope cities. Like, you know, what you got Sacramento left. You can put a team there. You know, you gonna put
San
a team.
Antonio is the only logical one I can see.
What's the other city in Washington?
You can't put one in Oklahoma, although-
Olympia, Washington.
Although I know they love football in Oklahoma, you cannot
Where?
put one in
Oklahoma
Oklahoma. You
City?
cannot put one in
No.
Why
Oklahoma.
won't Oakland or the Bay Area do like we did?
What?
Why won't Oakland or the Bay Area do like we did?
San Francisco already has a team.
Yeah, San
That's where the
Francisco
money
does.
is. Oakland,
mean?
They always had a team.
Like who?
though. And
That's
Houston
what I'm
had
saying.
Oakland
So
moved
the
back.
Oakland
Left
people-
and moved back.
You mean Houston?
Yes, like Houston did. Excuse me.
Like
Well,
what?
they lost their team and they just got another team.
But that's because the reason Houston lost the team wasn't because they didn't want their team anymore. It's because they
It's the owner.
It was
decided they
good.
wanted
No,
their
it's
team
because
anymore.
the owner felt it was not financially viable, which is the ultimate reason they all moved their teams.
Financially viable. He
He wasn't getting the stadium.
That's
He got the
that's
stadium.
all it
He
was.
wasn't getting
It wasn't
the
that
stadium.
it wasn't financially
Yeah,
viable.
it wasn't.
Why,
They were going to
why did
remodel
the
Astrodome
Raiders leave?
instead
The
of-
Raiders didn't leave because nobody attends their games. They
Yeah,
sit out all
they
the time. They have a
don't sell out
horrible
all the
stadium.
time is the problem.
They have one of the worst stadiums in the league.
They do.
Absolutely.
And that's
But they
why
came
didn't
back
sell
to
out, I
Oakland.
guess.
And still couldn't get a new
Plus
stadium.
it was a scary place to go.
But you gotta remember, they didn't even start in Oakland. Yes,
You
they
might
did.
see
Who
a
was that
stadium.
started?
You know,
The Chargers started in LA.
How do I get to the next?
Chargers started in LA. There's no other city the team can go to. There's no
Sacramento,
There's not too
Oakland,
many.
Vancouver.
St. Louis.
This is the list of the most
St. Louis
likely.
lost 2 squads.
St. Louis,
No more.
They lost the Cardinals and the Rams.
No, they
San
don't get
Diego. They're losing their team. San
They
Diego.
lost their team.
You're right. San Jose.
Oh, that's
No,
right there.
That's the same thing.
That might not be open.
I'm
Oakland
giving
might
the
be
whole
open.
list.
That's ridiculous.
London that is
London.
retarded, and I will not support that
San
under any,
Antonio.
under any circumstance.
Mexico City.
Maybe.
That is
Hey!
extreme, but
Million
still.
people stadium.
Wait,
That's how you on Madden.
Hey,
You
hey.
go to Madden, you literally have a million people at your game
I'm just saying.
every
I'm
year
saying,
in Mexico
If
City.
they go to Mexico,
What the heck is that?
you know who's gonna ship bricks?
Who is it?
Donald Trump.
No,
Who cares?
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah,
That's why they gonna
that's
go. That's why
Cowboys.
they won't get a team in San Antonio.
That's
Toronto
right.
is the #1 most likely spot,
Toronto?
according to this
Toronto might
website.
work.
Toronto's an hour away from New York.
Do they
An hour away from
Argonauts?
Buffalo, New York. Not an hour away from New York.
And if you go to
I didn't say
Toronto,
New York, New York.
That's the only place.
Don't they have the
that matters in New
Argonauts?
York.
That's the only place that matters in New
They
York.
do have
You
to say
Buffalo.
Buffalo. They got a whole
You have
other
a
team.
team as well.
We're
that's
an hour
why
away
they
from
gonna. That's
Madison.
why they gonna branch into Canada because the CFL is like no.
No. But that's but
But
see,
they said they got bread.
No. And Toronto's not doing well in the CFL. So
The NFL don't have the
a
bread.
lot of people don't show up to the Rogers Center to see the Argonauts.
It's kind of cold, though.
So they would kind of prefer.
It's kind of cold.
I mean,
So the top
it's
four
further
was
south than Green
London.
Bay.
We got a minute left. Though.
It's
London
further south
most
than
likely,
Green Bay,
Mexico
though.
City was
Toronto
#2,
is-
second most likely, followed by San
That
Antonio.
London thing ain't
Top
gonna
three
work.
most likely to get a franchise.
Who?
That
Yeah,
London
Toronto.
thing.
I can see Toronto happening.
That's
Yeah.
possible.
And so Toronto, San Antonio, that's two. Bam, let's make it happen.
But you need 2 more
Jigga,
teams.
jigga, why we need 2 more teams? Jigga.
No,
They're gonna have a
jigga.
34-team league with 8 divisions.
Look, you know what? You don't
You
need to
throw
be.
San Antonio
I would
into
say
wherever
get rid of
Houston is
division.
at. You throw Toronto wherever the Giants is at. And let's get
Have 2 17-team deals and everybody play each other
We'll
once.
have to leave it
Bam!
there,
That's and
man.
the Super Bowl's a damn.
You have been listening to the Garage Apartment.
What you think about that?
We are here each and every
Big hit.
Sunday night from 6 to
Alright.
7
Okay.
Central Standard Time.
Maybe we can do it on
Toronto.
YouTube. I'm buying a new camera.
What's
It's coming.
What would the Toronto team be called?
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
It's gonna go down when we go out, man.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
download that app, 92 Kills,
Download
on the
it.
iPhone.
Download the app on the new
Coming soon to
iPhone.
the drawer.
It's coming very, very soon. 92 KLs. Make sure you go to your app store, type in 92 KLs, download the app.
And shout out to all our Facebook watchers.
Check out our website, thegarageapt.com.
See you, Malcolm Lacey.
We will definitely. What's up, Malcolm Lacey? Hey, we will definitely have a midweek show, man, because there was so much we didn't get to today. We got to talk about the NCAA amending the Rich Paul rule. We have to
I
talk
was
about.
listening to us.
Shout out to Flash Gordon, Josh Flash Gordon, on being reinstated to the NFL. We still trying to get you on the show, bro. Holla at me.
Third round draft pick.
Julio getting his ass knocked.
Oh,
yeah,
got
got
something.
Knocked.
And I love it. I enjoyed every second of it. Also, we got to talk about Boogie Cousins' injury. So we gonna, man, I'm gonna find a way to get us a midweek
And
show.
Dwight Howard going back to the Lakers.
After his butt healed.
Pause. So now,
Not really pause for him.
man, y'all have a wonderful week. Y'all stay blessed. Be good. If you can't be good, then be good at it, man.
Turn my music up, bro.
We will holler at y'all, man.
Hey.
Y'all be good. Y'all stay blessed. One love. Holla.
One love.
We're not on Facebook.
I got a call.
Yeah, you heard me though. Thank you. It's late, but it's just getting at the end. About to get off Facebook though. Shout out to the Facebook listeners. Check us out for the midweek.
I don't know, they did something crazy with this stuff. I couldn't do a watch party.
Watch party to get people to join. They couldn't see it otherwise.
No, they saw it. I guess, but
Except for the part that I had of just